Hello and welcome to this video. I hope you're doing good. I hope you are going through the lessons and completing the exercise, especially the goal cards. And if you haven't done them till now, please go back and do them now, because now that we're going to get into some of the technicalities in setting up your business, it's very important that every day in the morning and evening you're looking at the goal cards and reading out your goals to yourself. Okay. Now, in this video, we're going to talk about the top 4 skills that you need to master in order to be a successful business owner. And I understand that a lot of you have already got nice and successful businesses running on the ground, but I recommend that you pay attention to this video and take notes, because some of the concepts discussed here may help you in expanding your product portfolio and expanding your your footprint in the market. So real quick, we're going to discuss the top 4 skills that you need to master in order to build a big business. And then we are going to be talking in future videos on how to narrow down your brand positioning and how to set up your product suite. Now, once again, I never talk about a single product, but I always talk about a product suite, and we are going to discuss why it is so. So let's quickly continue. We're going to talk about the top 4 skills that you need to master as a business owner, and the 4 skills of course match to the 4 pillars of your business. So sales and marketing, and systems and people, and of course productizing. So we're going to be talking about the productizing a bit in the productizing bonus that you have as part of the bundle. The 4 things that you need to master that are going to be work in progress. So some of you folks may have good amount of experience in sales, good amount of experience in marketing, but these are skills that are always in motion, and the learning is never quite enough. So you need to have these 4 skills that we're going to go through in great detail now: the sales, marketing, systems, and people. Now, incidentally, none of these skills are really taught in school. Some system skills are of course taught in school, but in terms of marketing systems, very few of these are covered in great detail in school, and this area is shifting or changing so fast that I'm guessing that academic curriculum is always behind. And the second most important item is that these skills are independent of your product or your idea. So for example, if you have a product in the market, if you have an idea that you want to launch a product, these skills will help you. Even if you change your product portfolio tomorrow, or you go into a whole new industry, something that I love doing every 7 to 10 years, then these skills will help you. So let's get a quick overview, and then you'll have to consult your bonuses, because we have bonuses for every one of these that you need to go to in order to master these skills in great detail. The first skill is sales skill. And real quick, if you're in India and you're kind of building your business in India, if you've grown up over here, you will see that in India, sales and marketing is kind of treated as one word, and there is no clear distinction between sales and marketing, although these are 2 very, very distinct skills. So sales skill, which is obviously the most grueling of all skills, and I'll talk about why, is when you have an interested prospect in front of you, is about helping them make the right decision. Which is, the right decision is whether the product is a fit for them or not, or whether they are a fit for your product or offering or not. Helping them make the right decision, and even a no decision, if you've educated the prospect properly and helped them arrive at a no decision, they will respect you for it. It is a good culmination to have, as long as you do it with control and posture. That's something we're going to talk about later. But you need to have control, you need to have posture, and if the customer is not a fit, the product is not a fit for the customer, you need to guide them to the right decision, having their best interest in mind. It's a great outcome, because they will walk away with confidence in you and probably come back to you at some later point in time. The second is helping them decide the right product. Now, once again, I always talk about never go into the market with one product. You should always have a product portfolio. And when you have a prospect in front of you, you have to help them decide which is the right product among the selection that you offer for them, right? And helping them decide is a key part of the sales skill. And the third and most important is, if you decide or if you feel that they are a good fit for your product, then helping them make the decision, or initiating a transaction like a purchase transaction, or paying a down payment, or a booking amount right now, getting them to take action right now. That is a very, very most important part of the sales skill that makes it so unique and the most valued skill in the market. Okay. Now in order to master the sales skill, you need to understand what is moving in the market, what are customer priorities, what are they looking for, what are the pain points. And pain points could be, just to give you a quick example, and we cover this in great detail in the sales course that you probably have as an add-on bonus in your bundle. But different priorities, especially in India, people, or in third world countries, people have this perception that a customer is very, very price sensitive, and that may not be the case, or that may be the case in both directions, which means if they have a budget, or they're looking for a classy item, and you're going to drive them towards a product which is cheaper, they may not want to do business with you. So that can kind of go in any direction. It's not always that customers are looking for the cheapest price, right? For example, if you're in a car showroom and a customer walks in and asks you about a car, you may think that you're doing them a service by driving them towards the most economical of choices. But hey, you don't know, maybe they have a 5-member family, they're looking for a car with more space. Maybe they have little kids, maybe it's his first child, his or her first child, and they're looking for security at that point, because it triggers all those emotions. You're going to have your little baby, drive them around in your car, you want to buy a new car. So maybe safety and security is the number one driver at that point. So depending on what type of customer and what their drivers are, price may or may not be on their priority. So, some of the things we talk about in the sales course are to open your eyes and ears and perceive different needs of the buyer and play among them. It's not always that you're going to sell them the cheapest possible product. You could probably sell them a more expensive product, provided it's the right fit for them. And then obviously understand the product range very well. So if you're working as an agent or as a salesman for a company that is not your own, then you need to get into the depths of each and every product, their terms, the pricing, the EMIs, etc., and also delivery timelines, different options, etc. You need to understand them very well, because all of them are going to come into use at the time of closing, at the time of getting the check out. All right. Next, marketing skill. Marketing skill is a skill of kind of propaganda or mass propaganda, where you send out your message to the prospect market and have them show their interest to you, by taking some action. That's called direct marketing. We're going to be focusing more and more on direct marketing in our marketing course that you have in your bundle. So I'll just quickly go through the 4 items. So you need to be able to connect with the right message, and you will know about this when you circulate in the market. What are the keywords? What are the key emotions that you got to tip into in order to get their attention? And then you need to give them a message or a customer study or something that interests them or attracts them. So you need to connect or message the market. You need to get their interest. You need to attract them by way of a customer study or a result that somebody has had. And then you need to engage them, which is you need to get them to take an action, walk into your store, give you a call, send you an email, opt into your landing page, something like that, right? And the skills that are important for you over here will be copywriting, writing in words, whether you're sending out an ad or newspaper flyer or a social media ad or a television advertisement or whatever. Writing in words, what the emotion that you want to grab and getting their interest and attention. So copywriting skills come in handy over here. Blogging skills come in handy over here. What you write on social media, how you kind of choreograph your ads, whether they're social media ads or newspaper ads or print ads or whatever it is. The second and very, very important skill is video marketing. These days, in order to have a man-to-man connect or woman-to-woman connect or a person-to-person connect, you need to have video marketing skills, which means you need to master the art of speaking into the camera. And I understand that this could be a huge mind block for some people. and I routinely get emails and phone calls from customers saying, hey, I can't do this part, can you do this part for me, or can your agency do this part for me, and the other stuff we will put together. But the way the market is operating now, it's going more towards individual brands than large brands. So you have even large brands like Zomato, for example. They have these, you saw that wide smiling scooter driver, and they kind of put that as they promo stories showing how good they are treating their riders, right? So you had the smiley fellow. It was shown as viral marketing, but I have some suspicion that they probably funded that. So having people represent your brand, even if you're a big brand, or having yourself represent your brand, is very, very important. Especially if you're an agency owner whose products are linked to a large company's products. If you're a car salesman or car agency owner, insurance salesman, etc., then you need to separate yourself from the brand by doing a lot of video marketing so that people know you and understand that you are the authority. A personal connect that comes through video marketing is just it eclipses the connect that you get from all other forms of marketing by miles. And it's not easy to speak in front of the camera. I am also kind of learning, because it's easier for me because I am used to speaking in front of people. But looking into the camera is just an inanimate object, and keeping the keeping the momentum going when there's nobody on the other end responding to you is also, for me, it's an uphill task. But you need to get into the habit of speaking into the camera, and that will help you connect with your audience so much better. And the third part is whatever messaging you have that you're writing, you need to create photos and infographics out of it, because guess what, Instagram, Pinterest, these social media networks are becoming bigger and bigger. So how you create the information around, how you shorten your written message, complete with a photo, and create an infographic, or create a photo with a message, is very, very important in today's times. And it's a very short format that is being accepted and demanded more and more by the market. So that is another thing that you can probably outsource, but you need to be very clear with your messaging and have some photos, etc. We'll talk about it in the next video on how you can use that, how you can do a photo shoot for yourself and blend some of the messaging and put it out there. All right. Now, system skills. This is a basic course, so we are not going to go into a whole lot of complicated system setup, etc. But 2 or 3 things that I find are absolute essentials, and you should start, even if you don't have them in place, just kind of start learning about them. The first is social media in the form of business skills. So we are all used to going on Twitter and Facebook and things like that, but social media is, you kind of work it slightly differently if you want to get a business benefit out of it. And some of the examples are that you need to have a Facebook fan page or business page, which is free to set up, and then get your company's messaging out on it. Even the format of, for example, Instagram is pretty different. You need to have a strategy around Instagram where you have your post should contain 8 to 10 photos per post, and then they should be graded in an incremental interest. They should attract and then gain interest over the next few snaps, and then have a call to action. We talk about it in our marketing course over here. You should understand email systems. I just like to kind of take 2 minutes over here and talk about email systems. Email systems are important because everything else that you do online or offline, your customer details sit on somebody else's server, right, or on somebody else's system, on somebody else's platform. So for example, if you do television marketing or print marketing, it's somebody else controls that, right? The only thing that you control actually is if you have an email system and you get customers to send in their email via something called an opt-in form or a lead page into your email system. And the way it works is like this. You cannot mass mail 50 people or 100 people or 1,000 people via Gmail or any other email platform. So the way the industry works is, the industry is totally against spam. They're against mass marketing. So what they do is they trust certain companies which are called email platform providers or email marketing companies, companies like Aweber or GetResponse or Infusionsoft. And the top 3 emailing companies in the world are Google, Yahoo, and Microsoft, right? And these servers, they allow companies like Infusionsoft or GetResponse or Aweber to mass market to people. So because they have that kind of relationship, and companies like Aweber, Infusionsoft, and GetResponse have mastered the art of making sure that people like you and me cannot spam a whole lot of people, right? So what they give you is they give you a small HTML code that you put on your website, and that code actually belongs to GetResponse. So you got to get that service, get their code, put it on your website, and then get customers to put in their email on your website, to enter their email. Once they enter that, it goes into the GetResponse server, which is your subscription. And over a period of time, if you collect even 50,000 or 500,000 of these email addresses, with one single email, you can actually communicate with all of those people. Now, an email system is separate from Facebook. An email system is separate from Google, in fact, even. An email system is separate from any other mass network that you utilize to get your leads or to get your customers. Tomorrow, if Facebook changes their algorithm, you suddenly start losing customers. Tomorrow, if your print media or display media like televisions, they stop carrying your ad, or they change their policies and your ad is no longer accepted by them, then you suddenly lose your traction in the market. But what you'll always keep is, if you have a subscription with an email provider and you have these lists of customers who have actually opted in or thrown in their email to you and allowed you or given you permission to contact them. With one single email, if you are able to contact 100,000 people, then regardless of what product you're selling, there will be some conversions. And email marketing is free. Apart from the subscription that you pay for, it's really very cheap. It's almost as good as free. But if you have an email marketing service and you have, let's say, 50,000 or 100,000 customers over time who have given you permission to contact them, then a single message going out to those customers will bring, even with a 1% conversion rate, will bring thousands of people to your store to look at your products. That creates tremendous amount of traction. So you need to understand how email systems work, and it is a very, very simple method that you can master within maybe 1 or 2 hours. And we will talk about that in our marketing course. Lead pages, which is how to set up web pages so that the messaging over there attracts a customer to put in their email by which they're giving you permission to contact them, right? So these 3 things are the ones that you need to master to start with. And over a period of time, if you feel the need, you can go into more advanced system skills. But these 3 skills are the simplest to master. Within about 2 to 4 hours of time, you can actually master them. And we go through them in great detail in our marketing course that you probably have free with this bundle. Also, people who are absolutely systems illiterate, trust me, I'm very systems illiterate. I mean, you look at these PowerPoints that I'm giving you the course on, they're very basic PowerPoints. They don't have any complicated graphics or animations or anything like that, right? So I'm not a very systems savvy person, but there are two skills that you should know on a laptop or your desktop that will help you master all of these other skills. The first skill is Control-C or Command-C, which is copy, right? If you know how to copy, that's great. And the second skill is paste. If you know how to paste or Control-V, you will be gold, man. All you have to do is copy and paste. So what you do is you look at all of the marketing messages in the world, some of them that pertain to your industry, and the ones that work best, or especially the ones that work for you best, the ones that somebody targets you and gets your attention, it's more likely that they will get somebody else's attention also. So keep your eyes and ears open, look at all the marketing messages of brands like yours or of businesses like yours. And if you can absolutely copy them and use them for your own products. So we'll talk about that in the marketing mastery bonus that you have with your course. All right, the fourth skill that you need in order to grow your business successfully is people skills, because at some point things will get out of your own hand and you cannot do everything yourself. Even among these 4 skills, you're probably an expert at one or the other one of them. And then you will need to delegate or outsource, which means you will either need to have people in your own company, employees that you give work to, or you will need to outsource, which means you'll need to give to a third-party agency to handle a business process on your behalf. In either of these cases, it will need a lot of management, a lot of people management. And while you may have heard that if you outsource a particular business process, have somebody do it for you, you can be hands off, that is absolutely not true, right? So you will have to deal with vendors, or you will have to deal with employees. So your people skills need to be top notch. And just 4 quick items. Just remember that we are living in a flat society today. Just because somebody works for you does not mean that it basically means that they're still equal to you. It's just that you're in a business relationship where you pay them their salary, and they have agreed to do something like a job description for you in the process for about 40 hours a week. Now, understand that over and apart from job description, people have individual needs and wants, and you need to understand everybody's drivers, and just be tuned to the YFM channel, which is what's in it for me, and understand the individual drivers and treat people accordingly just a little bit. And you will see that if they get over and apart from their salary, etc., if they get a little extra from you in terms of either money or respect or comfort or whatever it is that they need, then they will work for you for the long term, which is my second point. Play for the long term. Play for the long term. Good people are costly. They might be costlier by 10%, 20% or 30%, I don't know. But over a period of time, if you retain the same people over a long period of time, regardless of individual differences and ups and downs that invariably happen in business, if you play for the long term, if you keep good people around for the long term, your business will snowball and give you quantum and compounded returns every few years. The difference between great leaders in big businesses and small leaders and average businesses is that great leaders in big businesses invest in people and they keep them around for the long term, regardless of some of the bumps that will invariably arrive on the road, right? So play for the long term and keep people around, keep good people around. You must know how to identify good people, and then make sure that you get them in and keep them around for the long term. So play for the long term with people. Over a 10-year period, this is the number one thing that will make a difference in your business. So Warren Buffett, the third richest person in the world, says that he manages multiple companies. He sits on the board or is the board of chairman or is the actual chairman of the board for I think more than 40 companies or something like that. And the way he manages these companies is very simple. He just sends one letter every year to all of the CEOs, and at the end of the year he just has one meeting with them. That's it. So every year he sends one letter and has one meeting with his top CEOs, and he does not micromanage. And people say, well, how is it that you can, because things, people obviously are used to doing a lot of meetings and meeting very often. How can you manage an entire company by meeting the CEO just once in a year? And he said the secret is you always find great people. And if you find great people, you will be totally hands off. You'll live a great life. Money will follow you and you won't have to work a lot. So again, play for the long term when it comes to people. The third thing and very important thing, nobody in any course will tell you that, is compartmentalize information. See, people get confused a lot with a whole lot of information. Keep people focused on their job description and give them encouragement and advice depending on whether they're doing the job great or whether they need some help from you. But do not give them information that comes from departments that they have no interest in or that do not concern them. Absolutely no reason, no need to get a whole lot of people fired up about your big dream and all. This is a big issue that we see with our startup clients. You see a person or a bunch of founders get their money together and get a company going, and then what they want to do is every time an employee comes in, they want to get the employee fired up about the big dream, etc., and that creates a lot of problems later. An employee has no business to be in with your big dream unless they are a key salesperson or a CEO of your business that you want to run the company, that you want them to run the company, etc. But most of the businesses that we are advising are small startup businesses, right? So we are not going to a point where somebody like a Steve Jobs has to get a John Scully fired up about his dream or something like that. So the issue that is happening a lot in today's times is that you get fired up about your dream, get a bunch of employees then you want to get them fired up about your dream. The issue is that things are not going to be smooth all the time. Things are going to be bumpy, they're going to be up and down, and at certain points you're going to have to make extra demands out of them, which they may or may not be ready to do. And conversely, if they're fired up about the big dream, they're going to get a whole lot of aspirations that could be out of whack, that could be unreasonable to the price that they have to pay, or they may not even know what kind of price they have to pay in order to achieve the big dream. So the reason that they're going to be employees and working under you is because they did not have that big dream and they did not make those sacrifices. Similarly, your role as a founder is to follow the big dream, but to make sure that everybody else stay focused on their individual jobs. So I absolutely do not support large meetings that go on for hours and hours. You're going to have short meetings with your employees about specific tasks and only going to talk about stuff that they need to do for you, and that's pretty much it. So if you compartmentalize the information, so in the US there's a saying called what they don't know can't hurt them. And that's very applicable over here. Don't get them into information that does not concern them. Otherwise, they're going to get confused, and you're going to have a difficult time managing them and keeping them focused on their individual goals. Okay. Real quick, there are two types of personalities broadly that you need to identify. There are alpha level personalities of go-getters that will get you moving, that will get you to the next level. And then there are the beta level personalities, or somewhat like the plodders, who are kind of more simpletons, not so aggressive, not so imaginative, but you teach them a job and keep them consistent, and you can disappear and come back after 10 years and they will be doing the exact same job in the exact same fashion. So both these personalities are very, very important to balance. Alpha personalities will increase the level of your business and get you to success, and the more slower type, the plodders, but the more consistent types, they're going to keep you at that level and keep you there for the long term. So cultivate people who can be consistent, and then try to attract people who can be alphas and get you to the next level. Three important things that this is something that needs to be in the environment of your company. The first is make sure that people are paid on time, whether they are vendors or employees. Have the necessary controls in place, have the checks and balances where, if you've given work to a vendor, when the work comes in, you need to double check it on time and you need to pay the vendor on time. Make it a policy. This is a policy for attracting riches, regardless of whether you're running a company or whether you're an individual running a household. If you pay people on time, money will come to you on time. It's like a spiritual secret, and I've seen this huge difference between economy and companies in the US and companies and behaviors and mentalities in India. In the US, people believe in paying on time, and you always get paid on time, which is why you see it's a much more prosperous economy and things happen faster over there. In India, you have the opposite. People don't believe in paying their suppliers on time, their employees on time, and then they always get hit with this problem where they themselves are not getting paid on time. In my life, I've tried all formats, but if you pay people on time, you will, I don't know, spiritual intelligence will take care of you, and you will also always get paid on time. So always pay on time. This is absolutely you cannot compromise, no compromise on this front. The second thing is people are always going to be treated with respect, and if you do that, they will respect you in turn, and people prefer working at a place where they have more respect, even if it means compromising on money. And if you maintain this, giving respect to people is absolutely free. If you maintain this, you will be able to get more and more people at lower and lower rates, because word spreads around this is a great company to work for, etc. Right? One of the great companies like the Tata Group companies, you see, word spreads around this is a great company to work for, although they may not be the most aggressive payers in the marketplace, right? So always give mutual respect. That should be an environment, that should be a baseline culture in your organization. And the third and most important thing is people will stick around with you, especially if you're a small and growing startup. The reason that they will not work for a big brand, but they'll come and work for you, is if they know that that tomorrow is going to be better than today. So they're going to grow more, they're going to get more, and also they're going to learn more and be able to contribute more. So give people that the opportunity, and they will reward you by giving you the best work possible and getting you to the next level. All right. So that's pretty much it. Also, one more thing: if you feel that your thing with people is not working out, and I see a lot of startup founders who are very ready to blame their team, saying, I don't have the right team, I don't have the right people. You need to think internally. You need to look at yourself in the mirror, because your team is a reflection of you. So do whatever you have to, but if you're not happy with your team, it's not on them, it's on you. And you should have a cleansing process or whatever it is. We'll talk about it in some of the bonuses, but this is your problem. If you don't have the right team, this is a reflection on you, and you need to up your own game. You need to improve your own self-worth, your own self-image, in order to get a better team for yourself. All right. And that's pretty much it in this video. No exercises for today, but do mention in the comments column what your top 3 takeaways from this video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.